Welcome back to another Mission Chief tutorial video. I am Horny Devil. Let's get started with another building. Now, this building is actually not necessarily a building, but it's actually a staging area, but it is under technically buildings. And technically, it actually is a building in some essence. And now I'll show you guys why it's actually a building. Now, let's place this staging area in a random place. Now, the reason you guys want to place down staging areas, if you guys were to build or create a large-scale alliance mission or start an alliance event. Now, alliance events do take up a large area, or they can, fuck with you all they want. But anyways, so large-scale mission you can create yourself. You can create whatever mission you want to build. So if that's a, I don't know, like a sunken boat or whatever, you guys can do that. Or you can actually pick from their listing. There's major fires. There's a car pileup. There's a warehouse fire. No, they already have warehouse fires. What was it? Like I don't know. There's a lot of them, but I'm not gonna. A bomb explosion. That was one of them. Also, otherwise you can make your own with the set amount of players, or not players, but patients, and how many people need to get transported to the hospital. Now, let's say. Actually, let's not say that. Is this Oak Park Heights? No, it's not Oak Park Heights. Minnesota Correctional Facility, Lima Lakes. Awesome. Let's go to I-35W Bridge. Now, in 2007, the bridge did collapse in Minneapolis, like I've talked about before, and I used to do realistic calls on this all the time. So, when the I-35W Bridge did collapse, I'm trying to remember where it is. Right here. Here it is. I think. Franklin Avenue Bridge. No, that's not it. Is it? Yeah, that's it. Nope, that's 235. Where the fuck even am I? Ah, right up here. There we go. Yes, right here. So when the I-35W Bridge did collapse, I don't remember if it was this one or this one. But I believe it was... I think it was this inner one right here. I don't remember. I don't remember which one it was. But anyways, when this bridge did collapse, there was cars in the water, there was cars up top, there was injured people all over. So there was staging areas set up on each side of the river. So you have units over here and units over here. Now, you could place down a staging area right here and get started. So our staging area for us, I don't remember what it was back then, but and I probably will never find out. But whatever the fuck they wanted to call it, whatever there be, temporary command or incident command post or whatever they want to call it. In some cases, I like to call these LZs. Now, LZ will be where the helicopter will land in the emergency. So just landing zone. I'm going to call it LZ for now. Or actually, I'm going to call this one POI. Point of interest. This will show up on my screen now. And now let's have a look. So once you put up your POI essentially, or aka staging area, you can dispatch units to it. Now, staging areas do last 24 hours, like I said right here. During this time, you can temporarily station and dispatch units from the staging area. Please select units and send them to the staging area. Now, what does this mean? You can dispatch all your units here, up to 800 kilometers. Okay, and you can dispatch them out 400 kilometers, if that makes sense. So, for instance, if I was in Minnesota, which I've done this before, I have actually sent all my units from Minnesota down to Chicago to help my alliance member when he was like in a deep fucking hole. I don't have any Chicago members in this clan at the moment, or alliance at the moment. But when I did, I put my my little fucking, what was I looking for, staging area down right in the middle of Chicago. Sent my units there, ambulance, helicopters, ambulances, rescues, tankers, MCVs, everything down there to help Chicago. Now, granted, I did leave all my area unprotected to emergencies for quite an extensive amount of time, because it did take around, I don't remember, like, I think, was it 12 or 14 hours for my units from Minnesota to go down to Chicago, which is actually quite like a realistic time, really. But anyways, so back on staging areas. So they can go that far, up to 800 kilometers. If I wanted to build in Alaska, I could physically not do that because that is over 800 kilometers that you can drive. They did increase that in one of their updates. It only used to be 400 kilometers that you could drive, but then they increased it to 400 or 800. Is that complete? It was 400, then they increased it to 800, so they could help people farther away. Now, getting back on topic, if you wanted to send all your units to this place, which I can do. Now, you can send whatever one you want to send, depending on the emergency. Now, if this was an Alliance Creator one, you can send whatever you needed. You can send a fuckload of ambulances to the staging area, or you could send a shitload of police officers. If this was like a raid or something, or like a, let's say it's like a prison break or prison riot going on, you want to send a shitload of police there, you could put them all in one area, then they all head in at one time. Or if this was like a mass shooting, all the ambulances would just sit in one area and wait for the all clear for it to be safe. You know, if you guys know the correct procedures for ambulances, I think that is the situation. I mean, there is combat medics where they will actually fucking put on some, like, they're actually cops that are actually EMTs and actually put on like fucking like Kevlar and shit like that and go fucking save people. But anyways, let's say this was a mass shooting situation. Now, I would send a shitload of ambulances, and I'm just going to keep clicking the shit out of this button. I have like 50 to 70 to 80, 90 ambulances, somewhere in between there, and I can just keep clicking, and I just dispatched around almost all the ambulances within Minneapolis right now. Now, if I keep heading down, you'll see all the ambulances. It does go from the closest to the farthest away. I do have a lot more ambulances to dispatch, but if I just come over here, let's just head up here all the way, I can physically dispatch every single one of my units within my whole state to this one POI, or staging area. Now, the most fucking units, let's just hit plane crash once, and let's hit commercial fire, and look at that, I ran out of multiple commands. So then, once I run out of that, I can head over to basement fires, blah, 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 click that like 800 times, and there we go, run out of battalion chiefs. And now, it's going to get a little complicated, as saying I has no battalion chiefs left. Anyways, then I can head over to police, active shooters, and no battalion chiefs. Oh, interesting. Run out of SWAT, and then we can head over to a fleeing suspect. There we go. Drug warrant. Oh, run out of SWAT trucks, and let's go to drug deal. Oh, look at that. Then I ran out of police cars. So they're firefighting, and let's hit manhole fire. Oh, they need battalion chiefs also. What's one where they don't need battalion chiefs? They basically all need battalion chiefs, really. But I believe I just dispatched almost all my units. Oh, I forgot hazmats. Okay, unknown Takersfield. There you go. But I believe almost all of my units are check marked. Except for my utilities, because utilities are actually really never used. They can be used, though, if you guys did not know. So let's dispatch all these units, which is over like 200 units that are going to be responding out. So as you guys can see, it's going to be a lot of lag right now. So right now I just dispatched them all, and they're going to be dispatched. Now what you're going to see is this whole map flooding with units. Every single unit from every single station will be dispatched to this call, or this incident, or the staging area. These ones have not yet gotten the call because they have to phone up a lot of fucking stations real quickly. So right now you can see all the airports being dispatched to this area. You can see Station 27 now getting the call. Still waiting on Station 12 and St. Paul Station 19. Oh, there we go. Their Station 12 finally got the call, and all their engines and shit like that are responding. So if we head over to the staging area, all of our units will be over there. Now, granted, you do not have to do this, but in some scenarios where you have these Alliance events, where you can actually have a whole area the size of a fucking ballpark, like literally this will take up all, I don't know, what is this, like 200 like miles by 100, I don't even know the dimensions on this, but a massive area. You can even go bigger than this. Like, look how fucking big this is. This is absolutely massive. That's a huge chunk out of my state. Really, you can't even see it from here, but because there's so much calls going on. But you can do civil unrest, or you can do storms. Now, I'm not going to get into this, but anyways, it is a very large area in which this shit would take over. So if we head over to staging area, you can see this all the units responding to this one area. And there's a lot of lag here, but as you guys can see, we have a lot of shit here. All the units are responding here. It's like one of the biggest calls you will ever see in your life. Whew. So, as you guys can see, I have absolutely no way of actually doing any calls, police, or firefighting because I have absolutely no battalion chiefs or anything like that. I have nothing. They're all going here. Now, once they get to this position, I can be able to actually do calls from this area because the staging area does act as a temporary fire station, essentially. So just think of a fire station, a police station, and an ambulance station all put together in this place. Now, all the vehicles will sit in this area. Just pretend it's a large parking lot. And that parking lot is, like I said before, a police station, a fire station, an ambulance station. Now, from this one position, they will spread out, and they can answer all these calls around my area. But that is uber inefficient. That's why fire stations and police stations are spread out. Like here, or not, that's a hospital, but you have station 1 here, station 6 here, and then you have station 5 here. That's why stations are, of course, spread out. Now, once I do get a couple units in here into the staging area, which is, I kind of put like a really bad position in this because it's under an interstate. If I would put it in the interstate, people got there quicker. But anyways, so these units have already actually arrived on the call. These are one of the closer ones that they have in the assigned at the staging area. Those ones have arrived so far, and it looks like we do have a couple more responding out. Oh, never mind. These are the ones that are still responding to the area. And of course, I forgot to click some of these units right here. But if I were to click these ones, all these units would still respond to this incident. But really, I have no need for doing this. So I hit dispatch, and those units will get added to this whole list up here. And right now it's just updating, and they will get added to this area. What else am I missing for the staging area? Oh yeah, Alliance members can also use this via staging areas, and the Alliance members can actually use their own. So if you have a major situation, like a major storm, and you want to set up multiple staging areas, your Alliance members can all set up one. You can only set up one per 24 hours, one staging area per 24 hours per person. So one per person, unless you have an alliance that just spreads them all out throughout the whole area that's affected. But that is about it for fucking staging areas. I'm going to cancel all these units and return them back to quarters. So the easiest way to do this is by hitting select all. So that's going to check mark all these, and then we're going to deselect them, or not deselect, but we're going to send them all back to their appropriate quarters, and they're going to go do their shit again. Now, we're going to delete staging area for selected vehicles. Now, it's going to lag a little bit, but they're going to go back home. Now, I do not... Oh my god, look at this fucking thing going crazy. Oh my god. If I had sounds on right now, it would be going fucking nuts. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go to sounds. Settings. Where the fuck is settings? Goddamn it. Where's settings? Oh, here we go. Oh my god, if you guys can hear that sound. God damn. That's... Oh. Okay. Oh. Oh. Okay, it's going to keep doing that because, they're all returned to quarters. As soon as they hit return to quarters and actually back up into the building, they're going to say available in quarters. So I'm going to turn off that sound because that's why I keep the sound off, because shit like that fucking is annoying as fuck. Okay, so I'm going to keep that shit off because this is going to go crazy for the next, 2 minutes, or next, 5 minutes, basically. But anyways, these people are actually just turning back around on the interstate. They're not actually heading to this staging area because I just canceled it. But this building is still going to sit here for the next 23 hours, 48 minutes, and 23 seconds. So that's okay, because It's not going to affect anyone. But that is basically about it for staging areas. They are pretty useful in essence, but for large players like me that can actually stand on their own feet and handle these massive calls. I know I just said massive, like really fucking weirdly, but they can handle fucking huge calls by their own and not require any assistance from anyone else. I would say it's pretty fucking good. Now, if you do play unrealistically, you can obviously handle fucking huge calls by yourself, especially when you have like 9,000 MCVs. MCVs are pretty useful and they require are required on huge calls like unknown tanker spills, commercial fires, building collapses. What else? A lot more, but that's beyond the point. Like I said, staging areas are pretty useful, especially when you have large numbers of injured people, where you can set up POIs for the ambulance services themselves while they get prepped and set up triage. Now, that is about it. Thank you for watching this episode on staging areas. I would say you guys learned something. I hope you guys learned something, or else at least maybe think about using them. But anyways, that is about how you use them and that's how you respond to them, or how you even use them. You guys might use them for some other reasons. I don't really know. Or just marking out a place where to build a station. So for instance, this is going to be the last thing, I guess. So if you're playing in like an area and you're like, hey, can you build a station right here? And then he's like, I don't know where this place is. And you're like, bitch, it's across from University of Minnesota. Or the National Dentex building. Let's say you're just like, I don't know where that is. So you're like, bitch, let me fucking just plop it on the map. So you place down a little staging area, and they're like, oh, that's where it is. Yeah, okay. I see it now. That's where the fire department is. And then you're like, yeah, you fucking idiot. But yeah, that is about it. I've actually done that before where I actually had to put the staging area on the place because the guy's like, I don't know where it is. I even gave him a fucking address and everything. He's like, what? Where is that? And I'm like, the fire station is right fucking here, bitch. And the PD is right behind it. He's like, what? The PD's on the Mexican Village by the fucking Herberts and Gerberts? And I'm like, no, you fucking idiot. It's about 4 blocks to the left. And he's like, left? Okay, I'm gonna go left. I only see the Holiday gas station. And I'm like, no, you're fucking retarded. Let me put the staging area on it. But anyways, thank you for watching this episode of Staging Areas. I hope you guys did learn something. If you did, drop it in the comments if you didn't, or would like to see something else on staging areas. Please do, because I don't know if I've covered everything. I hope I always cover everything and everything I do. But anyways, if I don't, leave it in the comments. Thank you for watching.